we don't specifically read about the execution of all the leaders who were involved in this. Maybe some commentators suggest he diluted God's sentence a bit. It would be hard to expect the tribal leaders to take the lead in executing themselves. Okay, I turn myself in. Let me stone myself to death. Let me hang myself. But something's going on here. And if you look at that parallel passage back in Exodus 32, where the Levites take the sword and kill the 3,000, there's a deliberate echo. There's a reference back to that. But in this case, the hero is not even Moses. The hero is Phinehas, who takes a stand. Under Moses' very nose, Zimri shows contempt for the covenant, and the sentence apparently pronounced against his own father, if his father was one of the leaders who got involved in the apostasy. So thank God for Phinehas, who took a stand. Well, what do we conclude in this passage? What do we conclude? Well, first, yes, there are differences between the covenants. The Old Covenant is much more physical than the New Covenant. In the church, of course, we have no authority to punish with the spear or sword. The medieval church was deeply mistaken and in violation of the teaching of the Lord. However, we are to be indignant about sin. And there are so many New Testament passages to consider, like Matthew 5, 1 Corinthians 5, 2 Thessalonians 3, Hebrews 13, Revelation 21. These are all of the notes. And so I think we need to ask some questions to ourselves. Am I like Phinehas? Or does his behavior seem unreasonable to me, even after restudying the passage? Am I like Phinehas, or do I condone sin? Do I speak up? Am I like Phinehas, or do I uphold a righteous standard of church discipline? I should say, or do I fail to uphold a righteous standard of church discipline? Because that's certainly what Phinehas did. Am I like Phinehas, or am I politically correct? Am I like Phinehas, or have I so bought into the, quote, values of the world? What a contradiction, since the world values what's detestable in God's sight. Have I so bought into the values of the world that I'm hardly bothered by what I see anymore? And if I'm a leader, am I like Phinehas? There's no excuse for intolerance, insensitivity, failure to listen, investigate, empathize, or truly love others. But do I have real zeal? Am I like Phinehas? That is the question. What we learn about God. So let me end with that. First, God's jealousy, which is sinless, is white-hot, holy, and cannot be compromised. Second, he punishes sin. Third, God detests illicit yoking ourselves with unbelievers. And fourth, the Lord commends those who stand up for his righteousness.